Congressman Jimmy Patronis of Florida. Welcome, Congressman. Good morning. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, our pleasure. Okay, your thoughts on the president's prediction about the midterms?
Look, the president was in rare form yesterday. He gave us a lot of insight on what is taking place in his head, where our country's going, how we can win the midterms. As we need to be focused, we've got to look at what we've accomplished, the one big beautiful bill, and we've got to do a better job of messaging the savings and the money that will be restored back to our United States taxpayers. They sent us up here to put money back in their pockets, not to spend their money. And whether it be no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security, these were things that have never been done before, and they don't come into effect overnight. It takes a while. It usually takes a cycle with income taxes for people to actually feel the real benefit. Fuel prices are going down, but we still need to have everything else at the grocery counter to be adjusted for the good that we've done.
Yeah, Congressman, what is your take on the president's plan for the oil there in Venezuela as far in the wake of the capture of Maduro?
I think a lot of this stuff is, as you start to open up the box, you start peeling back the onion and look at what opportunities are presenting themselves. One, you have had a dictator there that was arrested, who is sitting in a New York jail that will ultimately be, brought to trial sometime in March. And then you've got the oil and the oil infrastructure, primarily the infrastructure that was confiscated by that government, that was nationalized by that government. So I see where the president is trying to right that wrong. You look at those countries around the world that aren't necessarily our allies, that have had a dependence on that Venezuelan oil. So the president's definitely got their attention. And look, this is where the president's strength is. It is in negotiating. It is in leverage. And this is what he has done with this, as he starts to message the fact that we're going to bring this oil to the United States to benefit Venezuela and Americans. You know what? Those countries that depend on Venezuelan oil are starting to get concerned on what does that mean to my supply chains. I think this is just how the president continues to negotiate with other parts of the countries.
Congressman, top Trump administration officials, including Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, briefed congressional leaders yesterday. Lawmakers were told there is no expectation of U.S. troops on the ground and that this is not a, quote, warped war, but a precise operation to hold a foreign criminal accountable and protect American communities from drug cartels. Your thoughts on the matter?
Yeah, look, this president has shown that he does not want to put our soldiers in harm's way. And it's no different than what happened in Syria. They came back with a resounding thumping to those ground forces in Syria through aerial assaults. We're not going to, introduce our soldiers, our airmen, our sailors, our Marines into another foreign war. We have got a situation where there is a interim president in Venezuela. Marco Rubio is in daily conversations with her, ensuring that we have got a functional government. And look, she should understand that her predecessor colored outside the lines. She has now got an opportunity to cooperate and work with the United States government. But she will be monitored. There'll be an effort to make sure that exactly what we were going after Maduro for is not, Act 2 of her presidency. So, I think a lot of this stuff is yet to be seen, and hopefully she makes good decisions.
Congressman Jimmy Patronis, thank you so much for being here today. We appreciate it.
Happy New Year. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Congressman.
Have a good one. Coming up, seeing isn't always believing when it comes to the news. In moments, we find out how we may be being fooled in our very own homes. That's next.